PCSRA Radio Network and the Blue Hedgehog TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission, or other dissemination, or the use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the PCSRA Weekly Show's 2020 season. We're glad that you're with us to celebrate 10 years of the PCSRA, and we hope to see you every Monday and Tuesday here in the PCSRA Blue Hedgehog Studios in War Acres, Oklahoma. Today's PCSRA Weekly Show broadcast is brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecues, Harkins Theaters, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Now, in its 10th season, with the call of today's PCSRA Weekly Show from the Blue Hedgehog Studios in War Acres, Oklahoma, here he is, the adorable Blue Hedgehog, the voice of the PCSRA. Here he is, Daniel Boyles. For the final time in 2020 of this amazing season, I say hello and good afternoon and welcome to the final episode of the 2020 season for the PCSRA Weekly Show on this amazing channel of amazingness. I cannot believe we have made it to this point to where after today's episode we are closing the chapter on the 2020 Weekly Show season. So, it has been a very long journey. I thought we were not going to make it back in, like, let's say March when the NASCAR season got shut down, racing season got shut down due to COVID-19. I thought we weren't going to have a racing season. I thought we weren't going to have F1 this season, but somehow, someway, everyone pulled it together and made this season a success, as my freaking mouse light came on when I'm trying to do a weekly show, GG. So, anyway, before I ping everybody and have some special guests joining us for this show, I got a couple of announcements to make. Number one, of course, this will be the final time it will be called the PCSRA Weekly Show. Next season, it will be called PCSRA's Paddock Pass, or also known as Triple P for short. It will be basically like the Weekly Show, but it's going to be like a going to be exciting. It will begin in 2021 in January, which we'll discuss that when we get to this week's upcoming events and our PCSRA events coming up. So, because normally I would say weekly show events, but we don't have anything next week, so it's like, yeah, what's the point? So, anyway, with that being said, for the final time, we get to do the greatest honor and the greatest thing in the world. It is time to recap the final race of the season, which is Abu Dhabi. Rate the weekend, go over the top story news, all that. Discuss. Let me check the agenda because I have this written down. Rate the 2020 season, which I've already rated the season, like all of the races. So I did that with Sean Saturday after the talk show ended. Go through some NR news and PCSRA report. We will go through the final weekly show point standings for 2020, which you basically already know who won NASCAR and Global. You're going to get to see who won the overall standings. That's going to be the points when you combine both Global and NASCAR together. We will preview the 2021 calendar. We will have our final thoughts, which we'll invite some people from the Pit Stop Show joining us, and I have a crud load of thank you notes to go over. So with that being said, let's join the VC. Alright, and I'm going to say this. Let me ping everybody and tell them to come to the Blue Hedgehog server. Not onto, into, you stupid phone. I'm gonna smack you if you make me derp. Alright, there. That's better. So with that being said, hi Roblox. How are you doing, my friend, for this finale of the weekly show? I cannot believe it is the finale of the weekly show. It seems like yesterday we just started the weekly show back in January, and all of a sudden it's over. All of a sudden 2020 is almost over. Good God. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and recap the thanks for telling me that. You were okay, so you changed your username. Okay, that is understandable. Hi Great Lakes, by the way. Man. Alright. So, joining us is one of our special guests, which is Sean Art. Yes, hiya, neighbor. By the way, happy birthday to Sean Art before anybody... if anybody hasn't wished Sean Art happy birthday, you should. Otherwise, you'll be a numpty. Yeah. Oh, boy. Alright. And here is one of our panelists. Well, was on the NASCAR panelist, but at least he's here for the final thoughts if he wants to do that. Great Lakes. He's got cute Dot on there. Well, yeah, he's an anime. I love Animaniac. Which reminds me, I need to actually buy that show on my unemployment, which I gotta get a new unemployment card, by the way, because I lost. Oh, it's not on Hulu? Oh, it is on Hulu? Oh, fudge. I need to get a Hulu. I used to watch shows off of Hulu. I need to get that on my PS4 while I'm thinking about it, if not PS5. I heard you can watch TV off of Hulu. Like, watch your shows on Hulu. I don't know how, but oh well. Anyway. Give me a second. I need to put my Wi-Fi on. So, alright. So let's kick off the finale edition of the PCSRA Weekly Show by recapping... Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. So let's kick off the weekly show, as you can tell by the thumbnail of the stream. Gorgeous Yas Marina at Yas Island, recapping the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The race, let's say it was not entertaining, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to bitch about it, so. Only safety car of the race, Sergio Perez had a mechanical failure going through the hotel. His car came to a stop. That brought out the one and only safety car, which everybody switched from a two-stop strategy to a one-stop strategy in that regard. The rest of the race was kind of a snooze fest. But at the end of the day, Max Verstappen snaps Lewis Hamilton's winning streak at Abu Dhabi, and Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Also, he snapped Mercedes' pole streak in the process after winning the pole on qualifying Saturday. So that's a big plus, if you ask me. So the top 10 results for the F1 race from yesterday. Max Verstappen won, Valtteri Bottas second, Lewis Hamilton third, Alex Albon fourth, Lando Norris fifth, Carlos Sainz Jr. sixth, Daniel Ricciardo seventh, Pierre Gasly eighth, Esteban Ocon ninth, and Lance Stroll completes the top 10. Figures, Cody. So, yeah. So, anyway. So, since we don't have any of the global people here to give you thoughts about the Abu Dhabi GP until later on in the show, my thoughts. I just felt like the race wasn't kind of entertaining. Yeah, we only had one safety car due to Perez's little deal, but that was kind of the only thing that happened. So, while the racing wasn't that great, I was kind of surprised Max Verstappen pulled off the win, to be honest with you, because Lewis Hamilton's really struggled this weekend because, you know, this was his first race back. He had to miss last week's race at Secure because he tested positive for COVID, and I think trying to recover from COVID and getting back into the car, I think kind of really threw off his groove. So hopefully with the rest he's going to have, you know, with this winter break, hopefully he could be 100% by the time, hopefully, we go to Australia. Hopefully. Oh, hi, David. Yes, for the finale of the weekly show, yes. What happened? Yeah, that's, by the way, one of the other NASCAR panelists for the weekly show. Yeah. Alright. Oh, man. Alright. Okay. So, let me go ahead and rate Abu Dhabi. Wait, what happened? Hi, Grandma.
Here's your clothes pickup. Make sure you get this room cleaned up.
I will.
Okay?
I will. Thanks, Grandma.
Here you go. Come on.
Hi, Lino.
Hi.
That's a...
Doesn't say much meat and stuff in there.
Well, I was finishing up the biscuits, so it didn't go bad.
All right.
By the way, you know the best part is, David, you just said the D word on my stream. Congratulations. You owe me $1 million, courtesy of Sean. And that's another D word for you. Okay. So let me rate the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. If I were to rate this race based on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the greatest, I'm going to rate this as a 7. Or no, I'm going to rate it as a 6. And the reason I rate it as a 6 is because everybody really felt like the soft tire wasn't going to, everybody was struggling with the soft tire, so mostly everybody in the top 10 ended up having to start the race on the medium tire. Oh, God. By the way, the reason I gave it a 6, as I was trying to say before I got interrupted, everybody was struggling with the soft tires, so everybody in the top 10 picked the strategy of putting on the medium tire, which was a clever idea, because several people got into Q3 on the medium tire, which they got to start the race on the medium tire, so... N-word. Anyway, please don't cut me off, anyway. So they had to start on the medium tire, and, you know, and that's how, you know, Max Verstappen won, because he had a great car. I mean, he looked good. He looked good through the top of the timesheets, was in the top 5 through the entire FP sessions. Hamilton was fastest, I think, in, what? I think FP2, which that was the only time Mercedes was fastest, and then it was Max Verstappen, FP1, FP3 qualifying race, so mostly he dominated the race weekend, surprisingly, which I didn't expect Max Verstappen to dominate Abu Dhabi this weekend. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be Lewis Hamilton dominating. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. So, that's why I rate it as a 6. Okay, then. Alright, and by the way, we're going to get to some NASCAR stuff. That's when you guys get to come in. Okay, for some discussion. So anyway, speaking of that, let's get into the top story news. While I wait for the other global people who are sleeping under a rock. Let me tell Taylor. That's okay, I will just say this, David. At least yours is not as bad as what happened to Cody earlier this year when he accepted his own roast on my stream. That was even funnier. I don't know if Sean remembers that or not. And Discord is just being stupid again. Discord, why did you turn Sean into a robot? I don't know. Sean got turned into a robot for some reason. Sean, you're becoming a robot for some reason. Anyway. Hang on, let me do this. Okay, let's make sure Sean's not a robot. Yes. You may now smack Discord, Sean. You have my permission to smack Discord with a Chinese bat. That is accepted. Okay. So, getting into the top story news. Let me find some NASCAR news so we can discuss this, because I'll discuss some global news out of the way. I'm sorry, what? Hi. Anyway, starting with the top story news, since we didn't cover most of this. God, we got a lot of NASCAR news to go over. Santino Ferrucci, IndyCar driver, is going to probably do 20 races with our Motorsports Indy Xfinity Series for 2021 in the second ride. And while some people in the NASCAR community is somewhat happy about this, this one was kind of 50-50. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, we saw what happened with Ferrucci with the way he behaved in F2, but I think he's matured enough. Ever since he came to IndyCar, he's matured. He has gotten his act together, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll see what happens if they can get some sponsorship and all that, and also the car number is yet to be determined for the second ride at Our Motorsports. So. Next topic, and this is a good question to you guys. This is a shocker. John Hunter Nemechek, we know, will be in one of the Kyle Busch Motorsports entries. Chandler Smith will be driving full-time in the Camping World Truck Series in 2021. Christian Eckes has been let go from the team. What is your reaction to that, guys? Yeah, I mean, lately, Kyle Busch Motorsports, when you consider how, I mean, they missed the playoffs the last 2 years. I think, and this is kind of like a culture change. I mean, Chandler Smith, I'm excited for him getting this opportunity, but, the question is going to be going into 2021, would Kyle Busch regret this? Because, Christian Eckes, still looking for a ride for next season, so we don't know what that could mean for him moving forward, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. By the way, if you didn't hear what I told my grandma, I'm having biscuits and I'm not sharing. I'm waiting for Elijah to come in this chat and say, Daniel Foles, you are under arrest for eating on the weekly show like you did that one time when I had what was it? No, it was that one time when I had when I went to Slim Chickens and I had chickens, and then Elijah come and said, Daniel Foles, you are under arrest for eating on the weekly show. I think that's what he said. I was like, oh lordy. I knew he was messing with me. I knew he was messing with me. By the way, I love Elijah because he's awesome. By the way, if Elijah comes in steel, I'm not roasting him. I'm giving him a compliment. He'll be like, okay, well then that's accepted. Okay. DGM Racing. Next topic from Chris Knight on Twitter. Announced Mario Goslin will drive the 91 Chevrolet in the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series season opener at Daytona in February. DGM Racing will field 4 cars for the event, which means the 91 will have to qualify on time because they don't have any owner points to fall back on. So, Sean Art, by the way, courtesy of, thank you for this next topic. We're actually going to discuss this next topic right here. NASCAR, according to Bob Pockris, NASCAR has announced that Auto Club Speedway, which was the third race of the season on the real calendar, has been canceled due to COVID-19 restrictions, where the state of California is on a severe lockdown. Which means, and we talked about this last week, where not only affects NASCAR, it also is going to affect IMSA, IndyCar, Supercross, etc. And also a big question mark, what's going to happen to Sonoma for 2021. Some people said Sonoma's going to go on as planned. Here's the problem with that whole deal. If the state of California is still on lockdown by then, Sonoma will more than likely be canceled for the second year in a row. So, in addition, the Daytona Road Course will now be the second race of the season, so not only will we have a super speedway right out of the bat, these teams will also have to bring their road course, so it's kind of almost like speed weeks again, except we're moving to the road course. We'll be at Daytona twice and Homestead, and then we go to I think it's Las Vegas and Phoenix, or is it, I don't know. I'll have to look the, Okay, I was right, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't derp. The Homestead truck race will move to the Daytona road course, which means for Homestead, it will just be Xfinity and Cup. Which, what's your thoughts about having Daytona twice, the road course after the 500. Yeah, it's weird going to do Daytona back-to-back with the Speedway and the road course. It really just throws a monkey curve. Because now, if you look at it, if you exclude the Clash, that's 7 points-paying races NASCAR's running road courses. Previously, it was 3. Before that, it was only Sonoma and Watkins Glen. That's like, we just went from little road courses to, holy crap, a ton of road courses just like that, so. Yeah. Next topic, still staying on to the NASCAR wagon. Did anyone hear about this one? This was a little, quote-unquote, didn't see this coming. NASCAR on NBC analyst Steve Letarte is a consultant for Spire Motorsports. Who had that on their bingo card this year? I didn't. Yeah. I think that was probably a big surprise. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad Steve Letarte's still in the sport, you know, not just in NBC, but also with a NASCAR team, so it's really cool. Stewart-Haas Racing announced Riley Herbst will drive the 98 Xfinity Series car next year with Monster Energy sponsoring the car because, well, Monster Energy is a partnership. I lost my Wingo card 25 years ago. Well, dang, dude. So Monster Energy is going to sponsor Riley Herbst's entry for next season, driving the 98. Myatt Snyder is going to be full-time in the Xfinity Series at RCR, with TaxSlayer to be one of the sponsors. Andy Street will be the crew chief. Myatt Snyder raced with both RCR and also Ryan Sieg Racing last season. I mean, he did good with RCR, but not so much with Ryan Sieg Racing. I think equipment-wise, I think Myatt Snyder is going to be a good driver for Xfinity next year. So. Alright. Now, here comes the big argument we're going to be discussing. That we're all going to discuss this. So, NASCAR released the 2021 times. Well, let's see. The Truck Series, of course, they're going to have back-to-back races at Daytona, night races at 7:30 Eastern Time on FS1. Yes, before anybody asks, does the track have lights? The answer is yes with the road course because they added new lights this past season. Sorry, I was chewing on a biscuit. Anyway, yes. So, Daytona, 7:30 Eastern, Las Vegas, Atlanta. Okay, here's something funny. The first track we go to that won't have lights will not be until COTA, which we'll discuss COTA in a little bit. The first, let me tell you this. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races will have tracks with lights. The first track with no lights will be COTA. Can you say that's a big shocker there? Yeah, who had that on their bingo card? But anyway, FS1, COTA is going to be at 1 o'clock Eastern time, so hey, 1 o'clock Eastern, that's fine. That's fine with us, because it's lunchtime. Yep, Charlotte. Pocono race will be at noon Eastern for the Truck Series. Watkins Glen will be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, so hey, morning race out west for the people. I really like these times for the Truck Series, you know, 1:30, 2:30. Some of these night times make sense and all that. So, yeah. Going to the Xfinity Series. Now, here's where some people get confused why... Okay. For anyone asking why is the Xfinity Series race starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time at Daytona, let me remind you, there is an ARCA race on that same day. So ARCA would be first, the ARCA Menard Series. Which normally would be the weekend with the Clash, but since they condensed Speed Weeks to a week, it's now on the same day as the Xfinity Series. So, also at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the road course, which means there'll be a night race for the Xfinity Series. They're going to run Sunday at noon Eastern, which is the right before the second Cup race. Here's a little note you need to hear this. They've changed the start time for the championship race in 2021 to, like, late. Like a night race. 8:30 Eastern Time for the finale at Phoenix. So, yeah. I guess they want to do it because they want to make it prime time. I don't know. Beats me. Yeah, who knows. But then this is where the Cup schedule, the Cup Series times, some people are raising questions about. Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing, in my opinion. So, the Clash will now be on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on FS1, which means on Wednesday we'll probably have the, quote, recap of the Clash, because we'll have, like, 2 shows. It's almost like what we did this year. The dual race, 7 p.m. Eastern, that's same. Daytona 500 will be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then this is where people got mad on freaking social media because of the times, with the exception of Martinsville, which is fine. Daytona Road Course, 3 p.m. Eastern. Homestead, Miami, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Las Vegas, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, which makes sense. Same with Phoenix. But all these East Coast races, Atlanta, 3 p.m. Eastern. Bristol Dirt, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's like... Hold the phone. Wait, it gets worse. 3 p.m. Eastern for Richmond. 7:30 p.m. Eastern for Martinsville. That makes sense because it's a night race. Talladega 2 p.m. Eastern. That time didn't change. Kansas 3 p.m. Eastern. Do what? Yeah, it makes sense because why not? But these 3 p.m. Eastern times, good lord. Kansas at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'd like it at 2, but oh well. Darlington at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Dover at 2 p.m. Eastern. Coda is at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Charlotte, 6 p.m. Eastern. That didn't change, which makes sense. Sonoma, 4 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me? Why on earth would you want to have a 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Sonoma? Like, seriously, why?
That doesn't make any sense. That's like saying, let's start the race at like 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry if I'm fucking with my mouth full.
Or 3 p.m. Eastern, because, hell, it makes sense. Not freaking 4. The All-Star race, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the Open, 8 p.m. Eastern for the, All-Star race. You know. Nashville, which will be on NBCSN, will be 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Pocono 3 p.m. Eastern time. First Pocono race at 3 p.m. Eastern. Second Pocono 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. That puzzles me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Road America at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time on NBC. Atlanta 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. This is what's getting ready to throw the red flag. They need some of these races that have lights need to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, not 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. You know why? Because we're gonna have a lot of people freaking dehydrated with these hot temperatures. I still don't get why New Hampshire's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Normally it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, we're off for 2 weeks because of the Winter Olympics. Or Summer Olympics. Sorry, I get the Olympics mixed up. But anyway. Watkins Glen 3 p.m. Eastern time? No. Indy Road Course at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Well, hey, there's something right. But there's a good chance Indianapolis may or may not happen because of the issues with the... Michigan, 3 p.m. Eastern time, the only time we go to Michigan. That's a big fat no. Daytona, the regular season finale makes sense at 7 p.m. Eastern. Darlington at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Bojangles Southern 500, the playoff opener. Oh, which reminds me, it will not be throwback weekend, by the way, when we start the playoffs at Darlington. It's going to the first Darlington race. I'm 50-50 on that, but oh well. Richmond is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Bristol, the first elimination race, also at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Las Vegas, 7 p.m. Eastern time, because that's the round of 12. Talladega at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That makes sense because it's Talladega. Roval is at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Texas is 2 p.m. Eastern time. Kansas is 3 p.m. Eastern time. Martinsville, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Phoenix at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So, that's the time for the Cup schedule. So, yeah. I also forgot to mention something. I'll mention in just a second. Now, we talked about the layout, what layout NASCAR was going to run for its 3 series, because in addition to NASCAR being there, we also will have the Lamborghini series from IMSA, so at least IMSA is going to be there. They're going to run the full circuit at COTA, which is that 20-turn, 10 to the left, 10 to the right at COTA for their inaugural races. So that means I'll more than likely do a lap guide for you guys, which I'll have to, well, if and when the Pit Stop Show returns, and I'll ask Elijah if he wants me to do the lap guide. Hi, Cody. Yeah, I'll need to talk to Elijah about that lap guide, because he'll have to copy that video and just give me credit on the lap guide, because I'll have to do it with my F1 car, which, well, I'll do it with one of my drivers. But anyway, it will be the full circuit, so, which is interesting. So what's you guys' thoughts about the full circuit at COTA? I'm going to start with David. Yeah, because I can tell you this, I probably already know which is good places to overtake. Turn 1's a good place to overtake. Turn 11 is like a good place to overtake. 12 is a good place to overtake. I'm trying to think what else is a good place to overtake. I mean, there's like a lot of good. There's like about 3 good places you can overtake at Coda.
Yeah, there is.
So, if people don't know how pit stops are gonna do, you probably want to watch one of the IMSA races from like I want to say 2017, and you'll see what I'm talking about because they put like a little barrier, which separates which will separate the F1 garage. I'll probably put a link. I'll put a link in the server so you guys can see what I'm talking about when you watch the Coda races, or if you watch the World Endurance. They put like a pit wall to separate the F1 garages because why not? So it makes sense if you ask me, as far as that's concerned. So yeah, but like I said, for NASCAR people, they've never seen Coda before. This show is the only one that we always talk about Coda. I mean, hooray for us. It's like, so, it's called, at least we get to share our knowledge, what we think, what we know will happen at Coda, with all the passing and all that, so, at least it'll be good to help the Pit Stop show as far as Coda is concerned. So, because, I looked at a stat so far. Since 2012, since the track opened in 2012, of course we still have Formula 1 racing there, which is awesome, which I think we're gonna have the W Series there next year, so that's another series that will be added. So you got 2 of the FIA series plus the World Endurance. IMSA still races there, I think, because IMSA raced there back in the day. Supercars raced the shorter layout and not the 20-turn circuit. The Superbikes, MotoGP's raced there at Coda before. IndyCar was the most recent series that raced at Coda. And now NASCAR is going to add their name to the list of series that have raced at Circuit of the Americas since 2012. And there's parts of the track that is so bumpy, like that double right-hander. It's going to be bumpy because I've seen it with the F1 cars. It's bouncing up and down. Like on the video game, you don't feel it, but when you're driving out on the real track, it's really bumpy. So that's why you got to be a little bit careful going turn 1. And also NASCAR will also have to figure out where they're going to put the restart zone is, because let me tell you something. Turn 1, it's a blind corner. You can't even see what's up there. So as far as that's concerned. And I guess Cody Smart's still eating his pizza, so figures. What's going on in my server? Oh, paint schemes, hello. What did they do? Cody will do that fully clothed. How can Discord smack somebody? I don't get that. Okay, you just ripped that off of Taylor's material. David, you just ripped off Taylor's material. Congratulations. Yeah. It's not like the app's gonna jump out of the phone in real life and smack a person, then jump back in the phone, so. Oh, dear lord. Why do I even bring up the word superpowers? This isn't The Incredibles, for God's sake. Anyway, what about you, Cody, on your thoughts about the full layout for Coda? Because we've seen it, you know, like I said, with IndyCar and F1, also IMSA before. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I can tell you, IndyCar brought some good entertainment, same with Supercars and F1, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. What did he do? By the way, it's not the first time he said the N-word, Cody. By the way, Cody, you need to disqualify David for saying the D word, because he said the D word so many times in the stream. Oh. Wait. Oh. Wait a minute, let me check here in the roasting chat. I knew he was gonna derp. So I'll have to go through some more top story news in just a second. Sure, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, again, maybe our expectations not going to be expected. I hope they can try to improve on what we're thinking may happen. But we'll see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can tell you that for sure. By the way, Cody's going to say, okay, what David said is not accepted. What Danny said is accepted. That is vice president abuse, by the way. You're about to get contempt of court by Taylor when he gets in here. Yeah. Speaking of news. Okay. Let me just tell you about some reports that I was informed, and I don't know if I don't think Cody or actually no, Cody was aware about it. Sean Art is not, so I'll fill Sean Art in right now. According to Ted Kravitz, there has been some reports that Sergio Perez will be driving the second car for Red Bull Racing next year. Who, and here's the catch, Alex Albon would be going to be their reserve driver. I'm not making this up. I came across this. Here, I'll put it in the F1 chat in my server. If you don't believe me, this is what I came across last night. Who saw that coming, first of all? Second of all, that's a big surprise.
That's huge.
Yep. Yeah, I bet that's kind of surprising. I can't wait to hear what Taylor has to say about that.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Got a little bit of supercar news. Starting with Supercars pit lane reporter Mark Larkham will not be a part of the championship television lineup in 2021, which a lot of people in Australia are furious about that. Tom Moore and George Commons will take over Alistair McVean and Micro Del Rosa as race engineers at Ibris Motorsport next year in supercars. Tim Blanchard confirms Mustang switch livery and driver for 2021. Who'd he pick, you ask? And that's a D word again. You know the best part is another D word. Tim Slade, by the way, will be driving. By the way, David, you just said that on my stream. Congratulations. How do you plead? Earl Bamber is going to a new GT3 role as Porsche adjusts their factory lineup. Wait, where's that at? Ah! Oh, nice dirt. Yeah, nice dirt, David. That's a good boy, Sean. I think that is it for the top story news as far as all that's concerned, because I can't wait to get caught up on the top story news for 2021, so, yeah.
That's only a few weeks away.
Yeah, so far. There was something I did not add on the agenda, which I'll go ahead and add the agenda. It's time for the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Sean, Cody Smart, you need to go smack David on YouTube.
Oh, what?
He said not fully clothed Cody Smart art.
Now Sean's $1 million fine.
Sean and Subsion will go smack David while David's not clothed, and while Sean and Subsion are both clothed. Accepted to mine, not accepted if you try anything.
David a $1 million fine.
Subsion, that is accepted, Danny. Not accepted if you try anything.
Oh, no. Oh, what did he do? I got $1 million fine. I will let off with an actual car.
Wait. Cody likes to hug Lauren fully clothed? Okay, accepted.
Joy to the world.
No, it's a compliment, Cody. Okay, that is accepted, Danny. Not accepted.
Closed captions available, because whoever closed captions available in the Discord server, he got a F-bomb.
Oof. Why are you smacking Great Lakes? Oh, Great Lakes said he was going to spam David's fairy tale wife on the deal. So, on the Mercy Orthopedics injury report, right now, I'll probably post an update on my den on my Facebook, on my separate account, so I can tell you what's going on as far as that's concerned. I forgot to bring this up on the results. You also noticed Roman Grosjean was not cleared to race Abu Dhabi. That was because his season came to an end after that scary wreck in Bahrain, so we wish him good luck in wherever he goes. There's been somebody said he was going to go to IMSA. That's actually Kevin Magnussen who's going to IMSA. Grosjean has not even made any plans for next year, which more than likely tells me he's going to probably be with the kids and his wife for next year. So that's kind of understandable, as we wish him the best of luck on his recovery from injury. PCSRA injury report, none to tell you, but there will be some suspensions we'll be discussing on Inside PCSRA, which isn't pretty, so yeah, that is the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Slow down by an orthotitis, a broken bone, or a sports injury, count on Mercy to help restore your orthopedic life. Call Mercy Orthopedics today. Mercy and the PCSRA, a great partnership for over a decade. How about that? Yes. That's why we have Mercy, and we have Mercy hospitals everywhere. Congratulations, you are disqualified in that. Yes, David's about to be disqualified. Actually, wait, I tell a lie. He is already disqualified. By the way, Cody, before I get to my next topic, I got a dumb question for Nathan Orman. Listen to this. Orland Magic? Who's that? I know Orlando Magic, but Orland Magic? Nice derp, Orman. I had to say that. I had to say the dumb question for Nathan Orman. Also, Nathan Orman, I got another dumb question to ask you. What's Voilios? I know what my last name is, but Voilios? Yes. Yes, congratulations on butchering up my last name. You'll get a blue hedgehog spanking, but anyway. Crap, I should have put that in the quotes chat. If somebody should have just typed that in the quotes chat, or I'll have to do it. I don't know how he spelled it, but anyway. Let me go through my agenda. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. What would you rate? Wait, did I? Oh yeah. What would you rate the 2020 season, Cody? I don't think I told you about a rating. Yeah, I didn't tell you about, I know you're probably gonna say, yeah, it was kind of a boring race for Abu Dhabi. It's overall. It's overall. All the races, like, through the entire motorsport season. That's what the, if you rate the 2020 season.
I mean, we had a couple of fun races, but the vast majority of them, I have to give somewhere between a 7 and an 8. So I'm probably gonna ballpark this one and probably say 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah. I think the best F1 races were Sergio Perez winning the Secure Grand Prix and Pierre Gasly pulling off the huge upset at Monza. That was insane after Hamilton got penalized.
And Hamilton was racing at FIA.
Yep.
And then after Abu Dhabi, we got to see all Mercedes racing at FIA.
Yeah. That was funny. And then Cody ejected Max Verstappen and Red Bull and also Dutch fans for excessive celebration. By the way, here's a little stat. I brought this stat up I think last week. This is the first time Lewis Hamilton won the championship. He didn't win the finale.
Where did Hamilton finish?
Third. First time he won the championship, but he didn't win the season finale.
Well, hasn't he won a championship before, but did not win the season finale?
Um.
Well, I'm gonna say he said 2012. Bottas won the finale, and
No, 20. Well, let me check. I could check the 2012. Let me check. Let me check the Abu Dhabi results. I know when Sebastian. Oh yeah, last time. Yeah, you're right. 2012 was actually last time, but Hamilton was already eliminated from title contention. The last time a driver won the championship, failed to win Abu Dhabi, was 2012. That was when Seb cut a right rear tire down. Was it 2011 or was it 2012? Let me check. I could check.
here's another fact. Hamilton didn't win the finale in Brazil, I think. And that was like a finale.
Yeah, because that was at Brazil. That was not at Abu Dhabi. Because Abu Dhabi didn't get on the schedule until like 2009. Yeah, so it'd be like the third time a driver won the championship did not win the season finale. Yeah. Also, before Max Verstappen, the last time the season finale was won that was not by Lewis Hamilton was, let me think here. Let me think. The last driver, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, the last driver that won the season finale that was not Lewis Hamilton.
Was it Rosberg?
No, Rosberg finished second in 2016, but he won the championship. So, actually, it would be the fourth time a driver won the championship, did not win the finale. I got 10 deals of email, good God. Let me think. No, it was Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen won Abu Dhabi before, but that was when he was driving for Lotus. That was when Seb went out of the... That was in 2012. I know 2011... It was a different story, but you get the point. Oh yeah, 2011 Seb went out. 2012 it was Raikkonen. I was shocked that Raikkonen won, but yeah, that's a big surprise. Yeah, then I get this massive load of... I don't care about Google's policy, because Google's policy sucks like ass. I just need to get something planned out. Anyway, yeah. So we've had a couple of different winners. Lewis Hamilton's won there. Won at Yas Marina. Max Verstappen, I believe, joined a list of drivers who won at Yas Marina. So, yeah. It was interesting. And like I said, the only track that starts in the day and ends at night. That's the one thing I love racing there. 21 corners, so, yeah. So, let me pull up. Daniel Ricciardo, by the way, set the fastest lap of the race. So that's another fastest lap that's impressive. Red Bull, by the way, that's their first win since 2013, the last time they won the finale. If you know what I mean. Yeah, Mercedes' six race winning streak at this track came to an end. So, yeah, let's see. Sebastian Vettel won it twice. Lewis Hamilton won his first one in 2011. Raikkonen in 2012. That was when Seb went out of the race because of a tire flat. That was when he was driving for McLaren. Raikkonen won in 2012. Vettel won in 2013. Hamilton won in 2014. Rosberg won in 2015. Hamilton won in 2016. Bottas won it in 2017. The last 2 years it was Hamilton and now Max Verstappen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different winners. Max Verstappen became the 6th different winner to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So, how about that? So let's go through the final point standings. That's the next agenda. So, the final point standings. So, yay. That's something I want to go ahead. So, if you combine all the bonus points and all that, this is the final point standings. In 13th place, with 670 points, is Andrew Ramsey. In 12th place, with 748 points, Q-Man. In 11th place, with 771 points, Mr. Great Lakes. In 10th place, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he won Rookie of the Year, I don't know. Jonathan Hibbett with 1,084 points. He finished 10th. Good job to him. In 9th place with 1,343 points, David Heller. In 8th place with 1,498 was Kyle Langland. So Kyle Langland once again wins quote-unquote best of the rest for the 2nd year in a row since we've started doing the points. In 7th with 1,746 points is Greg Rutz. 6th place, Brendan Rudders at 1,928 points. Cody Goforth finishes 5th at 3,090 points. Nathan Orman finishes with 3,194 points. Yours truly finishes with 3,313 points. I finished third. Zachary Taylor gets 3,518 points. He finishes second. And for the second year in a row, Sub Scion, aka Cody will smack Taylor for excessive raging, with 3,597 points. Almost got 3,600 points. Good lord. Final bonus point standings. Cody Smart wins it with 41 points. I finished second with 33. Go for 31. He completes the podium. Zachary Taylor, 28. He gets fourth. Nathan Orman, fifth at 19. Greg Rutz finishes sixth with 16. Brendan Rogers, seventh with 11. Interesting. 7-11. That's funny. Kyle Langland finishes eighth with, you guessed it, 8 points. Andrew Ramsey, 9th with 7. Great Lakes finishes 10th with 6. David Heller, 11th with 5. Q-Man with 4. Jonathan Hilbert finishes last with 0. Final global standings, Zachary Taylor, the champion, with 1,633 points. Cody Smart, second, with 1,477 points. Cody Goforth with 1,400 points. He completes the podium. I finished fourth with 1,345 points in global. Brendan Rogers, fifth, with 1,238 points. Nathan Orman, sixth, with 1,168. David Heller, Kyle Langland will finish seventh at 646. However, since Kyle Langland was ahead of David Heller, Kyle Langland would win the tiebreaker, get 7th. David will be 8th. Greg will be 9th. And then, of course, you already know the NASCAR standings. If you already haven't heard, Cody Smart and I tied for the championship hold of 2011, but Cody Smart, with more wins than me, wins the tie, so I get second. Zachary Taylor, I believe, had more wins than Nathan Orm, if I'm correct, Cody. I'm talking about the NASCAR standings.
Yeah, I'm talking about the NASCAR standings. Let me see what happened to PCSRA server.
Yeah. I think Taylor won the tiebreaker over Orman, if I'm correct.
He did win the tiebreaker over Orman, but I want to see if I got the win count correctly. Let me see. NASCAR Weekly champion. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Come on.
Or you can type NASCAR standings. That would make it better. Yes. Oh. So what would be the next tiebreaker? Okay. So the bonus points, Zachary Taylor won the tiebreaker on the bonus points. So he ended up finishing third. Orman finished fourth. That's still the best finish for Nathan Orman on NASCAR. Kyle Langland finishes fifth with 3,262 points in the first ever playoffs for the weekly show. Ramsey got sixth with 3,248 points. Cody Goforth seventh with 2,416 points. Brendan Rogers finishes eighth with 2,384 points. Great Lakes finishes ninth with 1,508 points. David Heller completes the top 10 with 1,420 points. Quentin Moore finishes 11th with 741 points. Greg Rutz 12th with 539. Jonathan Hibbert 514. LJ, we all know, got disqualified, completes the field. So, that's funny. You had more points. Wait. Dang. Okay, you know what's funny? You have more points than Nathan Orman's not clothed 999 gazillion daughters. Not accepted if he does anything to me. Wait, it gets better. At least David Heller has more points than Zachary Taylor's not clothed daughter and his 999 gazillion wives. Accepted. Not accepted that Taylor does anything to me. Hey, at least Sean Art's much better than Taylor, who got triggered at not clothed women. I'm sorry, Taylor, if you're watching. Don't smack me for that. No, it's better than Taylor's dog peeing on Taylor on one of my streams. By the way, I've already picked out the top 5 funny moments of this year for number 5. It will be Zachary Taylor's dog peeing on Taylor while I was streaming something. Nope. Number 4, one of the episodes of Spyro where Cody came into the call and Taylor screamed, "Oh no," so loudly while I was recording an episode. That was funny. Which, by the way, if you haven't even watched my walkthrough of Spyro, my suggestion is you probably should. I'll put a playlist down in the description because I really enjoyed that walkthrough. Number 3 was, what was number 3? Number 3, Zachary Taylor sang Another Holiday on Twitch, which, by the way, got uploaded to YouTube, which I think was it was either the Mexican Grand Prix or it was the, Brazilian Grand Prix on the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. That was funny. Number 2 was, what was number 2? I don't know. Number 2 was me raging every time I keep losing to, Hunter, which, that was a rage. And the number 1 most funniest moment of 2020 on this channel goes to when Cody Smart accepted his own roast on my stream. I think it was at the recap in Daytona. Like, I think it was the first NASCAR episode. Not accepted. Up, Warmy's wife. That was funny when Cody accepted his own roast on the weekly show, and I died laughing, and I said, "You know the best part is, Taylor, I have this on the stream." You know be funny. You know be fun. Okay, next year, okay, next year, here's what I'm predicting next year is going to happen. Prediction number 1, Sub-Saiyan will get Taylor to accept his own roast on Paddock Pass next year. Just for payback. Just for payback. Prediction number 2, Nathan Orman will take all of his clothes off so he can get triggered at Toyota and Ford dominating NASCAR. Not accepted if Ormy does anything to me. Prediction number 3, there will be at least one funny moment where I get to make memes of Zachary Taylor twerking in front of the talk show. Not accepted if Taylor does anything to me. Prediction number 4, David Heller will get disqualified faster than me. And prediction number 5, Sub-Saiyan will sing a song to trigger Taylor. Oh, here's Great Lakes top 5 moments. Number 5, putting Roadrunner on the train. Number 4, celebrating my second champion. 3, Sub-Saiyan derping in his own server. Great Lakes' server, that is. David committing jail time in my server, and me saying shove it up your butt, someone. Oh man. And that's another D word for David. Okay. So let's preview the 20... So let's preview... And that's Vice President abuse, by the way, for David. Not accepted if you try anything to me. Alright, so let's preview the 2021 calendar. Yes, 2020 is in the books. What do you guys think we'll see in 2021? As far as racing and all that's concerned, hopefully without any interruptions with COVID-19 issues. Yep. Mm-hmm. But yep. Before I get to anybody else's deal, breaking news just came in. 2311 announced their 2021 sponsors: DoorDash, McDonald's, Columbia, Dr. Pepper, and Root Insurance. With the Dr. Pepper deal, Bubba Wallace will no longer be a Coca-Cola Racing family member. Denny Hamlin will continue his role as a Coca-Cola Racing driver. Huh, Dr. Pepper joining Bubba. That's interesting. Okay, whoever's trying to call me on the weekly show, well, it just happened to me, so. And who would that be? Who would that be? Might I ask? Not a roast. I guess they want to go. I guess they want to go spam up Ormy's fairy tale wife to spam closed at Orman's house. Not accepted if Orman does anything to me. Wait, what? Wait, what'd you say, Cody? Oof. Yep. Anyway, I can't believe Bubba Wallace is having Dr. Pepper. That kind of surprises me. By the way, that was from the crew chief corner, by the way, not a roast. Anyway, I think for me in 2021, I think it's going to be interesting to see how some of these new teams are going to do, and some of these teams, can Chase Elliott, can we have a first repeat champion, like a back-to-back champion since Jimmy Johnson 2013 in the Cup Series? What on blah blah? Not accepted if you do anything to us. That should be a derp for David. Don't make me say contempt of court, perjury on David. Get out of our courtroom. Who do you think you're talking to? A llama who beat up your girlfriend? And you just accepted your own roast on my own stream. Congratulations. D-word. Okay. Anybody else that want to say their thoughts going into 2021 for their preview?
Want to say a little bit about it.
Sure, go for it.
I think racing for 2021 might be hopefully better than 2020.
Yep.
And hopefully, maybe as what was said earlier, we could hopefully have fans come back into the stands fully, maybe in the later part of the year. Who knows?
Another D word for David in the general chat. Another D word. Do we need to start disqualifying David from the D word? Can we disqualify David now? That way we don't have to keep track of how many points he's racking up. Yeah, he's already disqualified from all of the categories, including mine. With his fairy tale wife. David accepted mine. Not accepted if David does anything to me. You just accepted your own roast again. Not accepted if you try anything. No, we're about to start saying disqualified. Yep. Oh, I also forgot to mention, by the way, if you have not watched episode 26 of my NBA 2K21 career mode, it's up, by the way, so. Anyway. Should be interesting to see how things will go as far as 2021 will go, so should be fun. Alright, so before we get into the, shut up, stomach, I was talking. My stomach decided to growl at me, and I said, shut up, stomach, I'm talking here. What did they do? That's a dirt point for Discord. David's getting disqualified in the chat. For being disqualified, you will serve a 30-week jail time and pay your fine, says Great Lakes. That's what he said in the general chat of this server. So before we get into, before we get to our final thoughts on not just this season, but this year, but also for the weekly show panelists for having this opportunity being on the show, let's take a look at this week's upcoming events. I think the talk show would be this Friday, if I'm correct. I don't know, Friday or Saturday. I'm sorry, you cut out because of Discord. Repeat that again. Oh, that's ripping off material point for David. Not accepted if you try anything. He ripped off Taylor's material. Yes. Anyway, back to what I was talking about for this week's upcoming events. I believe, I don't know, but I think oh yeah, the talk show was Saturday, so I'm guessing it would be this Friday, but whenever that will be, Sean Art will be on that show.
Yeah, it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep.
Friday or Saturday.
Yep, just like it was back in the day, so that's a look at this week's upcoming events. As far as looking at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, yes, since I didn't have the word weekly in that sentence. As far as looking at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, We are on schedule. Once I get this recording system situated, and and with a lot of help from Elijah, the Reese's Pro Series will start their season January 4th. With the Clash, and I believe we'll get the Daytona 500, but a time for that race has yet to be determined, so we don't know if we'll be racing day or night as far as the Clash is concerned. Whatever the case that will be, whenever we figure out a time, our pre-race show coverage will begin 2 hours prior to race time. That's a look at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, brought to you by Red Carpet Charter, the official charter company of the PCSRA. So, well, this is it. This is something I don't know how I'm going to say this, but this is it. This is the part where we get ready to close another good chapter on this show. So this is a question for all of the people, well, for the fans who've been watching this show for the last 5 years. If you're a new person that started watching the show since the very beginning, this is a question I always like to ask the panelists. So I'll start with David Heller, then Cody, and if Great Lakes wants to chime in, go for it, unless he wants to put in the general chat. So I'll start with David Heller, then we'll do Cody Smart. This is the same question, by the way. Final thoughts, not just this race weekend, this race season, and this amazing show that we've done for the last 5 years. I'll start with David Heller. And also, I hit 200 this year. That was another goal I accomplished this year. Yep. Yeah, and joining that one and also joining Cody Smart's podcast, that's going to be a lot of fun for me. Speaking of Cody Smart, your final thoughts on this season being a part of the weekly show and also this race weekend that concluded. Oh, he said the May holiday. Good job. Not accepted if you try anything.
Well, yeah, that's why I said the May holiday. Yeah, so... So, basically speaking, like, a lot of what has been here for the last 5 years, I mean, I haven't been here until 2018 in place, and a YouTube channel that doesn't have also many subscribers, broadcasting such a series that's gone on for that long, which means even I myself have been shocked by that, because it's broadcasting even longer than the Pet Stop show that premiered back in 2017.
Actually, it premiered back. I think it started back at around 2016 because that's when I joined. I haven't joined the Pit Stop Show ever since 2018 because I didn't return for 2019 or 2020. Which I haven't talked to Elijah if I was going to be back or not.
Yeah, so basically speaking, in terms of where my commitments are going to be, I am very more likely going to do the podcast and series, the podcast. Other things like the Pit Stop Show, 50-50 if I'm going to make a return to the Pit Stop Show. Who knows, maybe I'll win the second predictions championship.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of where everything at a weekly show is concerned, I mean,
By the way, Taylor is laughing at David.
how everything's going to change in terms of where the Paddock House is concerned. And, David's going to get
No, Taylor's laughing at what I just told him in his DM where David said the May holiday, and I'd already told Taylor.
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, no. Taylor's actually...
I just told him. I just told Taylor, by the way, not accepted if you try anything. But anyway, continue.
I mean, for the last handful of years, like the last 2 years, I want to say, we've basically combined the weekly show with what it was something that probably would have returned in a very long time, was the PCSRA talk show. Now, we didn't have too many episodes of PCSRA talk show, usually because, like, even for talk shows, it's usually somewhat organized, but at the same time not really, which is why me eventually doing a talk show was 50-50, because I probably still have a little agenda on my end of the talk show.
Yeah, and I kind of ripped it off of Elijah's talk show, but it's okay. It's like, you know, we always talk about our lives as well. You know, it's like, yeah. By the I'll mention something after you're done, Cody.
Yeah, so in terms of how everything has gone for the past handful of years, we've had as long before that we had from PCSRA racing that we haven't seen ever since 2018. So
2016 was the last time I did a full season of Reese's. Yeah.
In 2016, so it basically filled a void for pretty much the entirety of NR Racing hiatus, which is crazy as you come to think of it. But now with NR Racing back and now opening up a new chapter of the league in general, you know, well, it'll be fun, especially knowing that we'll have 2 episodes per week.
Mm-hmm.
For previewing the weekend and one for wrapping up the weekend. And I'm very interested to see how this is going to work out, because even I'm unsure if the Sub Racing Podcast is going to do something similar to that or not. Yeah, like either going to do it once a week, or I'm going to do twice a week, one day for top stories and reviewing the weekend, and then another episode to preview the weekend and predictions. Unless predictions happen to go early on that week, which will go to the house for when we get there. So, a sports podcast as well, except the difference between Cody's podcast and mine is that mine is going to have a bit more of a focus on other basketball, hockey, soccer, things like that. Things that go beyond motorsports, if you know what I mean. I still don't have the format exactly set up at this time. We're still working out the kinks, and also at the same time, I'm still working out the kinks of on the game show side of things, because I don't think I've mentioned this to any of you guys yet, and this is not a roast, but I'm also going to be launching a second podcast sometime this year. However, it's not going to be sports themed or racing themed.
It's going to be game shows, if I'm correct.
Game show themed.
Yeah.
It's game show themed, so basically anything that has to do with game show genre. So that means anything from Jeopardy to the Passport, related shows like the Passport Plus, Super Passport, from Sound Century to Pressure Life, anything like that is fair game. Anything that has to do with the game show genre is fair game.
Including the weakest link, because I always love the weakest link.
Yes, the weakest link would be included. Supermarket sweep as well would be included as well. So any of those game shows like that, fair game on that. I'm thinking for that one, I'm not going to do it weekly. I'm thinking at least on a semi-monthly basis, I'll probably do that game show themed podcast. At least 2 times a month, basically, is how I'm looking at it right now. And honestly, I'll talk more about what the format will be looking like with, the whole enchilada in the days, weeks, and months to come on that.
Yep.
Going back to my sports theme podcast, however, I'm thinking about doing this weekly, on a weekly basis, at least once a week. Time, the day, things like that is still to be determined, because honestly, with me being at school and everything, I have to figure out a time that works for everybody, that everybody will be able to at least participate most of the time in that podcast. And then we'll see what happens. Maybe because the ball sports dominate so much of it that the motorsports side may have to be spun off into its own channel. Into its own podcast, into its own podcast. So, we'll see what happens on that front. But, the bottom line is, in 2021, I'm going to start doing my own podcast. And here's an interesting thing, and I'll wrap this up here. This podcast that we are doing right now has actually opened up the doors for people like myself and Cody to launch our own talk shows. And I want to thank Danny for, everything that he's done, as the host of this PCSRA
Weekly show.
and,
Yeah, the weekly show.
the weekly show. And that, by you doing this podcast, Danny, you have opened up a lot of doors for people like myself and like Cody to have a podcast of our own. That, 2-3 years ago, when we first joined the weekly show, we had no idea that, we would ultimately have a podcast of our own, at least for Cody and I, both.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to say, as a fellow Oklahoman, thank you, Dan.
Yep.
Thank you.
Um,
Everything you've done for this weekly show.
Yeah, and all these episodes I've done for this show, whether it be on Facebook or since I moved the weekly show from Facebook to YouTube in April of 2018, we've had a lot of fun together. Anybody else have any final thoughts you want to add before because I have a snot load of thank you notes real quick. Sean?
Well, I guess I do have something to say because even though this is the first year I've watched this whole thing, it feels like I was part of this whole thing. And just how y'all been interacting for those whole time. I enjoyed it. I really just enjoyed watching this every week throughout the whole year.
Yeah. For me, and I have a lot of thank you notes before I pass along, but I want to say this. For the weekly show for the last 5 years, we've seen a lot of things that have never happened on this show. From our first ever W Series winner to Jamie Chadwick becoming the first ever champion in racing history, as far as the series we've done for the weekly show. From Chase Elliott's amazing championship win in the Cup Series to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s upset win at Talladega. This show has provided a lot of things that has been a great thing. And, for doing these episodes for the last 5 years, whether it was on Facebook, on here, it's been a fun plan. And I can't wait to have the Paddock Pass continue the tradition for the weekly show going into 2021. Which, by the way, the first Triple P episode, I believe, will be on the same week as the IMSA podcast. So, as I said on the IMSA podcast, I've had a lot of fun doing this show for the first season, the first year of the IMSA podcast, because I did announce last year I was going to do the IMSA podcast this year, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. For me...
Sorry to cut you off there, Andy. I was just going to say real quick. I don't think, as far as the Paddock Pass is concerned, probably because of everything going on with school, having my own podcast and everything like that, I'm probably only going to do the IMSA podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe inside PCSRA.
Yeah. Plus, also, don't forget, we also have our new podcast. My new podcast, by the way, will be debuting next year. The Overwatch League podcast, where we'll be talking about gaming, which is like a gaming. If you guys are interested in joining the Overwatch League podcast, private message me. I'll send you the link to the server. Because we'll be talking about San Francisco. It's almost basically like the NFL, but it's like on video games. So if you're interested in joining me for that next year, private message me as I hit the wrong button. Whoops, I hit the wrong button again.
Same here with my podcast. If you're interested in joining my podcast, private message me and or ping me in my Discord server. Which, by the way, I love it so much, and I failed to mention this. This show is called.
And apparently David got cut off. Thanks. Mm-hmm.
Using my own server just a way to connect with people from different backgrounds and different interests and everything like that. That's why I had such a broad name rather than just calling it a game show specific server because it's just so broad and you stack different topics as more than just game shows. I mean, you have weather, you have the TV, radio,
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's just a testament to people like you, Danny,
Mm-hmm.
who makes this weekly show so enjoyable and so fun
Yeah.
to be part of. I've had a lot of fun being a part of this weekly show. And I'm going to mention that as we go forward with Panic Podcast.
Yeah.
It's just understandable with me probably going to be working eventually.
But
Having my own podcast and everything like that, it's going to be a lot for me to be able to do the Panic Podcast.
the Paddock Pass, you mean?
Yeah.
Or Triple P. You could probably just say Triple P because it makes sense. So. You know, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you'll be probably doing predictions. I'm assuming. That's kind of a toss-up, if you ask me. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Not only this is the end of the 5th season, or not only this is also an end of an era for PCSRA Weekly Show for 5 years. This year will end the 10-year anniversary of the PCSRA, the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association. And for me doing this for these last 10 years, meeting amazing Reese's Pro talent that we have on this grid today, you know, it's an honor. And I believe when once I get this recording deal, I'm about, I don't know, 10 or so races away from hitting 500 race broadcasts. That's insane. I mean, that's almost like Merv Johnson coaching 1,000, calling games on the franchise. So it's like a great thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's been great, you know, and I have so many thank you notes to pass along. Thank you to Vladimir Petrov, Amber McMillan for having the ACSRA and all the other leagues that has been affiliated with this merger we've completed back in May. They have been the reason we've had some awesome drivers from all over the world and getting this merger done, which is great. Also, the greatest drivers we have in the Reese's Pro, and who knows, we will have a great Reese's Pro Series in 2021. A lot of questions are going to be asked, you know, will we end up having another international champion, or will we finally see a Canadian champion for the first time in series history? And also, can we also have the first American champion? Actually, no, we had our first American champion with JK in 2016. But the question is going to be, are we going to have a female American champion? That's going to be something we're going to talk about. So, you know, it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to do this season again. Has Great Lakes said anything on the Yep. Yeah. And also, you know, want to thank all the subscribers. If we can get to 300 next year, I'll try to do something special for our 300 subscriber deal. So, I'm still going to do some NBA videos during the off season because right now I have episode 26 uploaded. I still need to record 32, 33, etc. because I'm still slacking behind, but that's okay. It's because of this, trying to get this move done. That way I can get multiple episodes recorded and get them up to you guys as soon as possible. So, yeah. Yeah.
just on the recent What's Up Baby, I titled Being Show Highs with David, so that's going to be, I think, since everything has stuck with me, at least so far, with both of them,
Yeah.
that's going to be what I'll probably go with. Going forward, I only do the game show extravaganza when I do, like Saturdays, for example, where I do your requested highlights, and when I do the game show highlight marathons.
Yep.
Sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Use that, but the general me going forward is going to be game show highlights with David, which I'm not more about the name change for my YouTube channel, actually. I know I somewhat reviewed that in Great Lakes Society last night. But I will talk more about that when I do the stream on
Yeah.
to celebrate my huge milestone of 1,000 subscribers, which I'll tell you what, reaching 1,000 subscribers is not easy.
Plus, you also get to get paid on once you reach 1,000 because now your channel would be qualified, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. Now my channel's qualified. Plus, I will now have my own community chat as well. So,
Yeah.
you and Cody and everybody else that's called, if you want to use my community chat once that gets set up, because usually with YouTube it takes, I think, like a week or so by the time you reach 1,000 to get the community chat set up. But once it is set up and everything by YouTube, I'm going to extend the invitation to everybody, not just who is in this call, but everybody who is in the Great Lakes server and the East servers and my servers as well.
Mm-hmm.
To use the community chat anytime they want to, and you can talk about anything you want to talk about. Game shows, sports, you name it.
Yeah, well, definitely. So, one quick note, not, as I was continuing on, an honor to have, the 10th season. I can't wait for year 11 for PCSRA, where we go from here, and how we're going to build the audience. Little program note, Inside PCSRA is going to be this it was going to be on Wednesday, but we're going to have the second episode of the Inside PCSRA. However, a date and a time has not been determined because I do not know what my schedule is going to be as far as that is concerned, because we have a lot of stuff to go over, because I'm going to get ready to probably do the Reese's Pro Series Daytona 500, even though it may not be on the channel. We'll still have Inside PCSRA, so I can just tell you what exactly happened, so, because that's how I used to do NR races back in the day, so. Also, if you have not signed up for the Oreo Cup Series, there's still about a good 20 or so rides that are still available. So please tell your friends to sign up, because sign-ups have gone slowly. So, yeah. So, just want to let you all know on that little ordeal. And then I'll get some NBA videos out to you all as soon as possible. So, let me think. What else? Yeah, thank to the Reese's drivers. Thank Mr. Patrick Watson, who's been with me for these last 5 years, with me taking care of these drivers and helping them get to the racetrack every week, and it's really been a lot of fun. But it's also been fun, which I want to first off thank Elijah Gordon, Sean R., everybody on the NASCAR Pit Stop Show for a great season. I know it really sucked. They didn't get a chance to continue, but at least this show picked up the slack and help all of you finish off the NASCAR season. So that was an A+, and I can't wait for Paddock Pass for 2021, which is looking likely. We may end up having panelists, but we'll see what happens, as we said. So, but also to thank the amazing crew who have been a part of this journey so far this year. David Heller, Zachary Taylor, Nathan Orman, Kyle Langland, Cody Goforth, Great Lakes, all the amazing panelists we had this season. Jonathan Hibbett, great friend to have. Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Tang, Alex Hawkins, Dennis Kelly, Greg Wood Black, Michael Dean, Tom Shores, Greg Rutz, Crystal Fontaine, Seth Summer, all the amazing NR series that have been a part of amazingness, and Daniel Anderson running the show for us all season long back in our Learfield IMG College Network studios. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud partner of the PCSRA, and we always remind you every day that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit enduyok.com for more details. So the 2020 PCSRA Weekly Show era comes to an end, and it's been a very good honor for me to tell you how it's sad, and it's been a lot of fun for these 5 years, and to these amazing people, it's going to be great. I hope Sean has a great rest of his birthday. I hope everybody has a great Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, blah, 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 blah. Because the next time we'll be doing another show will be more than likely the IMSA podcast for the 2021 calendar, which if I look at the date correctly, today is the 14th. In less than a month, which is January 12th or 13th, we'll be having the IMSA podcast, as well as our first episode of Paddock Pass, which that will be cool. Date and time TBA. I'll have to change up the rules around, so that way, if you guys are still interested in joining Paddock Pass, you can. So, as we say, hi Noah in the general chat. So, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I will be right back, fully closing now with Fairy Tale Lives to wrap up this stream, and then we'll be back in this VC. So, and it's been a fun honor to me doing this, you know, and I cannot believe this journey's over. Hope 2021 will be better after the struggle end to what was an okay year for me, and all that good stuff. Final score, one final time in Norman. Normally would be the football game, but it was canceled due to COVID-19 and would not be made up. Final score, one final time in college basketball in Norman. It was my OU Sooners 85, Greg Rutz in Florida A&M 54. Farewell to the PCSRA Weekly Show, and thank you all so much for joining us all season long. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the PCSRA crew today. We get to say goodbye to the PCSRA Weekly Show, and I can't wait to see you guys for the IMSA podcast as well as other stuff so far. So thank you everybody so much for joining us. I will see you guys on January 4th, unless I'm doing an NBA video out to you guys. I'll see you for awesome racing and all that. But until that time, this is Daniel Voiles, aka PCSRA Blue Hedgehog, saying goodbye on the PCSRA Sports and Gaming Channel, the best NR racing since 2017. And until next year, this is Daniel Voiles saying, happy holidays, Sooners win, Greg lost, and as always, my friends, Boomer Sooner, everybody. We will see you all in 2021. Till then, adios.
PCSRA Weekly Show fans, thank you for joining us for today's episode of the PCSRA Weekly Show on the Blue Hedgehog TV. We hope to see you every Monday and Tuesday inside our PCSRA studios in War Acres, Oklahoma for more episodes of the PCSRA Weekly Show throughout the 2020 race season. This PCSRA Weekly Show broadcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecues, Harkins Theaters, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Thanks for listening to the PCSRA Weekly Show. The been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2020 by the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues and the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association, Incorporated.